Divisions are always bad for us in life. In states of division, we have battled and warred for the eternity of our existence. Shall our way of life become the catalyst for the end of our species? It is looking more possible than ever today. The divisions in our external world are easy to come by, and their dangers easy to comprehend. What is not so easily seen by virtue of an intimate relationship to what we have come to view as the root and most important feature of our lives are the divisions at the root of our souls. Are you ever frightened psychologically? You are divided. Are you ever angry? You are divided. Are you ever jealous, regretful, guilty, pleasure-seeking, suffering mournfully or pained? You are divided. Do you carry inner hurts of long standing? You are divided. How do we come to being divided internally in the thinking structure of our brains? How does this work? Are we doomed? Or can we in any way positively come to impact this diabolical structure that we may come to find a totally different way of living? Anger, fear, jealousy, hurt, pleasure, pain, sorrow, depressions, anxieties, isolation, loneliness, ambition, regrets. These are all signs of divisions within a human consciousness. And in divisions, we come to conflict. Is your consciousness conflicted? Is your thinking mind a home of tranquility or a demonic battlefield of oppositional energies? Have you ever looked even to see? If I am angry, there is a division within my consciousness between an observer to the anger and the anger itself. The observer attempts to positively impact anger, yet what is unseen and unquestioned and so undiscovered is that the psychological movement of anger has the same source as the psychological root of the observer to it. The observer is the observed. In the upper layers of the mind, these energies may seem to battle. At their root, they manifest from the same source. Seeing this movement within your consciousness will come to change your life. But you must see it, not learn about it in words. If I live in deep sorrow, what is the psychological manifestation taking place which is resulting in my sorrow? There will be a division between an observer who seeks to change his inner state or end it, an offending inner emotional discontent. This observer, obviously, is an energy within the brain, which is evidence of the brain's own movement, a process of thinking. The sorrow itself is also a movement within thought. The observer to it is exactly the same. The observer may do his utmost to battle that which he considers to be conflicting against his ongoing ability to enjoy life. But if the actual, factual, psychological structure has not been comprehensively investigated and understood, I may only be boxing against my own shadow. When I fall into an inner conflict, when I fall into an inner sorrow, when I become angry against an offence, when I grieve the loss of a loved one, is the sorrow, the anger, the offence, the grief not an inward part of what I am? It is true, there are certainly worldly events which precurse the arrival of any negative emotional inward state. But Are we really battling against the actual event? Or are we now involved in a process of conceptualizing a valid outer unwanted happening into an inner conceptual movement of thinking, and one which I come to conflict against? Our brains, deeply educated to solving problems, have formed a habit of conceptualizing life issues and of viewing them internally in a state of opposition to them. Seeking to solve a problem in a state of oppositional division against it. Will opposing any problem come to solve it? Or will looking at the problem and coming to an eventual understanding of it provide better results? Battling against a problem is unlikely to bring any harmonious approach to life. If my brother has offended me, if he has done something wrong, out of a lack of understanding, and I carry that injury inwardly, conceptually, with me, I have built an image based on the altercation. This image comes to divide us. The image within me appears to be the direction of my discontent, and it is. But we have a problem now, and a big one, if peace of mind to your life holds any value to your actual daily living. My image of your injury against me is a part of me. My thinking in completion is what I am. That my thinking divides itself within me between a battling observer seeking revenge and irate in its pursuit against what I perceive as an offensive brother, in memory of some grievous previous incident, ought truly to be a call to observe our psychological state very closely, to come to a direct and first-hand understanding of this mechanism within us, which has capacity to absolutely destroy our relationships and our daily peace of mind. A mind in conflict is not any mind of joy. A mind in conflict is void of all access to universal love. A very special and qualitative life change can come into the mind of a human being who can catch sight of the absolute fact that in the realm of our human psychological existence, in the realm of human conceptual consciousness, the observer is the observed. The thinker is the thought. A great part of our life difficulties lies in our lack of understanding of this fact. We seem to see our inner states as something we can operate upon. We judge, we evaluate, we divide. Thought is thought. Water is water. It is truly indivisible, though highly divisive in its indivisible nature. Thought is a part of what you are. It is an important part of what you are, for thought is memory, and memory is needed to speak a language, to drive a car, to remember who you are, and where you live, and how to complete your daily work. Thought has important place, and its place has great value and absolute necessity to human life. Thought is memory. Thought is experience. And thought has come to take a driving place in our lives. This is where our problems began. Thought is past. When the past takes responsibility for the present, chaos must ensue. We are meeting life with a form of death. That which is old is never new. Life is ever new. Thought ever old. The two can never meet. Thought has been educated into its current position of stature, but the true functionality we have inbuilt to meet life are our senses, not our thinking. Our thinking may only consider and reflect upon past events, for our thinking rests in knowledge, and knowledge is always what is known, and what is known is always the past. We are the past, and if we seek to end the past and to find life, we must come to understand what we are. And we can only do this simply, with a very simple mind. We simply look. We watch the incessant movements of our inner divisions, rooted within the innate tendency of thinking to division. By nature, division is a divisive place to enter within, and so a natural resistance to even beginning this journey may be encountered. But if a person can simply just watch, expecting nothing other than perhaps to catch sight of a revelation in the area of what is being watched, then a miracle can begin to take place. Eyes can open. When eyes are open and unrestricted, what is being watched becomes what is being seen. When seeing is present, the facts of what are being seen are transparently evident. It is only when we fear to look or care not to suffer that we have a tendency to run away from what is being seen. The pain is in the running away, never in watching. Watching suffering without dividing from it has potential to completely end all psychological suffering. What else could do this? Taking a tablet. Watching suffering allows the brain to witness the brain's own movements. When all of the brain's inner divisive movements are seen, the mind has been understood in every corner of its divisively conflicted state, founded on divisive knowledge. We do not suffer psychologically because there is anything wrong within us. We suffer psychologically because of the very patterned, learned knowledge-based structure of limited knowledge which our brains incessantly function within. Knowledge is divisive. Divisions lead us to conflict, even in one single brain. We cannot think our way out of our psychological problems, which themselves are being caused by the same activities of thought. We need find another approach. That approach is to awaken vision. Sight is awakened through the action of watching. It may be the last thing you ever feel you want to do, to look into and investigate the deepest of psychological hurts and inner psychological pains. But without any understanding of the totality of your thinking mind, you will never come to any understanding of your life. And so you will forever live under the shadow of psychological fear, pain, hate, brutality, and seeking pleasure. The meaning of your life will be limited to accumulating to yourself what you do not even need in time. And your inner world, whether you see it or not, will be nothing other than a brutal and troubled, conflicted house. Seeing is the activity which heals. Seeing sees all. It has no judgments, therefore can look into the eyes of what might be initially considered evil as easily as it can look into the eyes of what may be considered good. In such fearless observation comes an understanding of what is being observed. If a human being can bring himself to observe in such comprehensive fashion, he will come to view the totality of what he is. And in full view of what he is, good, bad, angelic, demonic, will come an understanding of what he is. Such a comprehensive understanding of a troubled, divisive, thought-based human mind and heart is the very planting of a new seed, which will give birth to a new and better world.